Okay, so set this problem up like this. So all these problems will be set up in the same general fashion. Of course, you do m inverse to both sides. Then you end up with x double prime is equal to, we'll just call it ax. Okay, so for our case here, k is, this is the number 1. It's 2, negative 2, 2, 2, negative 2. Okay, so if you take that matrix there and you find its eigenvalues, you'll get 0 and negative 4. So omega squared is 0 and negative 4, which means our omegas are 0 and plus or minus 2i, of course, which just means it's just 2. That's our frequency. Okay. So then the question is, well, what does that mean? What's happening? So that's a good question. So then we talked about this earlier in the video when I started the hell office hours. I had never a good explanation. It makes perfect sense now that I think about it a little bit more. Okay, so I got 1, 1. So for this guy here, well, sorry, for this guy, well, for either one of them, it's 1, 1. And the other one is 1, negative 1, or vice versa. It doesn't matter because, of course, it just implies opposite directions. So on this one here, think about this. What we have is we've got two masses joined with a spring. Okay, so clearly, if you were to force them together, like if you were to force it together and then set them apart doing their thing, they would oscillate, obviously. But what happens if you were to just, like, if you were just pushing them such that they were just going together? In other words, the spring wouldn't be oscillating; it would just hold them together. And so what that's saying is there's no oscillations. That's what the 0 piece means. There's no oscillations, but in essence, this just acts as if it's a string, not a spring. And they'll both slide across the floor at the same rate. That's what the 1, 1 means. Okay, if that's in the special case where there's no oscillations. Now, if you were to quickly jam them together or pull them apart and let them go, obviously they're going to oscillate in opposite directions. In other words, this one's going to be coming in while this one's going out, or they're both coming in or they're both going out like this. That's what this being here means, and that is they're doing that. They would be doing that at 2 cycles per second. This one here, again, just means that it's a special case where the spring just acts as if it were a string tying them together, and they would both just scoot across the floor together, joined as one, if you will, without any oscillations going on. That's what that means. Makes a little more sense now that I think about it.